Montblanc is a company that has made a reputation for themselves when it comes to high-end pens. For those of you who are pen enthusiasts, whenever you hear the name Montblanc spoken, you're automatically thinking of $1,000 for a writing utensil. But as time goes on and companies think of what is best for business, Montblanc quickly picked up to the fragrance bandwagon. Having come out with many fragrances in the past, usually some type of clone of sorts, 2019 was the year that Montblanc came out with the famous Explorer. Winning the Copra Award in 2020 as Best Men's Fragrance, many people love Montblanc Explorer because of its similarity to Creed Aventus. But is this fragrance as good as what people think? Does this fragrance live up to the hype of the name? Beau Million here. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel one more time where we talk about fragrances and reviews. If you have not already done so, I would love for you to click the subscription button, click the notification bell, press the like button for the YouTube algorithm, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So here I was one more time. I was scrolling through the websites, Aura Fragrance happens to be my website of choice, and I was looking at top selling men's fragrances. And in the top 5 fragrances on this website at the time, I found Montblanc Explorer. Now, I had no experience with Montblanc Explorer before even searching the website. I actually knew nothing about the fragrance at the time. But I've heard people talk about it before. I've heard people rave about how good the fragrance is, so I went ahead and purchased it myself. I got 2 ounces for $33 in Aura fragrance, so I figured what could go wrong? Worst case scenario, I hate the fragrance. So I picked up the fragrance, it came in the mail, happened to actually buy a tester, but very strangely, it came in a normal box. So I think I just got a good deal after all. Nonetheless, I opened the box, and this is what I found. Montblanc Explorer has great presentation, and my first time seeing the fragrance in person, I was thoroughly impressed. There's a decent quality cap, not magnetic, but still decent quality. Nice clip. The bottle was fairly heavy, meaning that it was a decent quality bottle or decent quality glass. There is some type of faux leather going around the bottle, meaning that they actually cared about the presentation to some extent. Then they put the emblem at the front of the bottle that everyone knows Montblanc to have. Of course, my autofocus doesn't want to work. They went with the darker gray, gunmetal, and even black theme, which doesn't quite make much sense because I don't think Explorer when I think of this. Nonetheless, it looks pretty cool though. But 2 ounces for $33. Can it really be that good? Is it too good to be true? So I went ahead and I opened the cap. I took the fragrance up to my hand, as I always do the first time I get a fragrance, and I sprayed. And the first thing I smelled when I smelled this fragrance was the epitome of getting a boost of energy. You know that feeling you get when you take that first sip of coffee in the morning? Not the relaxed feel, but when the caffeine finally hits the bloodstream. That's the feeling I got when I first smelt this fragrance. It was bright, open, and woody. There was a very fresh scent that came with this fragrance. And my first impression of this fragrance, I was blown away. As I smelt the fragrance on my hand and began to become familiar with it, the freshness really appealed to me. After all, I'm always looking for fragrances that are crowd pleasers and mass appealing. Yes, I love those very distinct and individualistic fragrances that nothing is similar to. But everyone needs that one fragrance that everyone could like. And with Montblanc Explorer, I think at this moment I found it. So I had to put it to the test. I went over to my wife. I said, honey, smell this. Of course, once again, she thought I was trying to tell her a joke, like pull my finger or something. I said, no, trust me. I want you to smell this. So I had her smell my hand. And her initial reaction was somewhat of the sort of being mind blown. She loved it. And that means a lot to me because I don't want to wear a fragrance that my wife is going to hate. Here's the strange thing. When I got Montblanc Explorer, I also got other fragrances in the mail with it. I had also purchased Spice Bomb Extreme. I had also purchased Jazz Club. And out of those 3 fragrances, she thought Montblanc Explorer was the best. So definitely great bang for the buck. But what notes are in Montblanc Explorer? In the top notes, you're going to get bergamot, pink pepper, and clary sage. In the middle notes, you're going to get Haitian vetiver and leather. And in the base notes, you're going to get ambroxan, ackee gallowwood, Indonesian patchouli leaf, and cacao pod. Montblanc Explorer opens up very bright, and you really notice the brightness of the top notes. I really see that bergamot cutting through. And then when it goes and settles into the mid notes or the heart notes, you really see the leather kind of popping out as now a rugged masculinity begins to cut through, and you get a bit of the greenness and the masculine aspects of the fragrance popping out. And in the base notes, I really notice the woodiness popping through as well as the ambroxan. It starts to grab onto a little bit of a synthetic texture, and I believe that's the ambroxan kind of pushing the fragrance forward, allowing for some longevity and helping the Akigala wood come through. Montblanc Explorer is one of those fragrances that does very well considering the price point. Once again, at $33 for 2 ounces, I'm getting 6 hours of projection. Of course, when I say projection, I'm not talking about beast mode. In reality, I'm getting about an hour and a half of good projection, about 2.5 to 3 hours of moderate projection, and the rest of the lifetime of the fragrance, it's just above a skin scent. But for a fragrance that's perfect for the office, you don't want it to be crazy, crazy strong. After all, I don't want someone to walk into my office for a very important, serious meeting and be blown away by Montblanc Explorer. I want whoever I'm sitting across the table from to be comfortable, not be awkward. So this fragrance will last the whole office day. And if you think that it's not lasting anymore, that ambroxan's kind of blinding your nose a bit, because in reality, it's still there. Worst case scenario though, just do an extra spray or 2. The way I use this fragrance, 4 sprays in the chest area is fine, more specifically the collar area. It has a decent atomizer, so every spray is going to give you a good amount of product. And overall, I think this fragrance is a very, very good job at replicating one of the most hyped fragrances of all time. After all, Creed Aventus is so popular, but at $400 a bottle, I don't want anything to do with it. You're going to get a lot of similarities in this fragrance as you would see in Creed Aventus, minus the pineapple notes though. But overall, Montblanc Explorer is a fragrance that you cannot go wrong with. At under $40 for 2 ounces of this fragrance has lasted me since June or July. When did I buy this fragrance? I've had it since about the summertime, whenever that is, right? But it's lasted me up until now, and I still have well over half the bottle left. Do I recommend this fragrance for everyone? I think it'll go well in most people's collection. After all, it's a very safe buy. It's a very appealing fragrance that most people will like. So it has my seal of approval. But Montblanc Explorer is so popular that you could go to a mall and just try it out and see how it smells on your skin. One last thing to note before we sign out though. This fragrance smells better in the air than it does directly on skin. At least my skin, that is. What do I mean by that? I mean that the sillage of this fragrance, in my opinion, smells better than coming right up to the skin that this fragrance is laying on. Which means one thing in my opinion, the fragrance will smell different on you than it does in the air. But that's okay, because it still smells great on the skin. I just happen to like the fruitiness that it more shows when it's in the air through the sillage. Nevertheless, you need to get Montblanc Explorer. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning into my channel one more time. Beau Million signing out. If you have not already done so, I would love for you to click the subscription button, click the notification bell, press the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful day.